Welcome to Collider movie talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today, Mark Ellis.
Welcome one and all to the best movie news show in the entire galaxy. What a program we have for you guys today. A lot of cool news. Alien Covenant might be scarier. James Gunn talks Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and there's a certain intergalactic smuggler that we might get to see a lot more of in the near future. Ashley, who is joining me on the panel for this Taco Tuesday?
Also here on Taco Tuesday, Jon Schnepp.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's so much fun to be back from San Diego Comic-Con. Very humid in San Diego. It was very hot.
It really was.
Would one say sweaty?
Yeah, it's a very sweaty convention. It was a lot of fun. Great seeing everybody at the meet.
Also here, host of Jedi Council, Kristian Harloff.
I'm hearing coughs around this office from the ComicCon flu. Go home. I don't want you to get sick.
The ComicCon flu never fully manifests itself until like the Wednesday or Thursday afterwards. So you feel great for a couple days.
People doing those little sneezes and they're coughing,
wheezy,
and it's like, no, just
sniffles.
no.
Ashley?
Yeah?
How are you feeling?
I took my vitamins. I'm obsessed with wellness formula. I tell you guys all about it all the time. I'm not sick. I'm waiting for one of you guys to get sick, though.
Hell no.
I'm waiting for
Riley.
Riley.
I'm okay.
It happens to first here on the panel. And without further ado, let's get into our first official story.
Okay, we know that Lucasfilm is developing a new trilogy of core films in the Star Wars saga, but long-term plans for the standalone anthology films have always remained a mystery, especially for the young Han Solo movie. Alden Ehrenreich, of course, was recently revealed to portray young Han Solo in the second Star Wars story from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and now, according to the New York Daily News, the studio wants to capitalize on the hype surrounding the character and is developing plans for 3 Han Solo films in total. An insider was quoted as saying, "There is a real sense of excitement around the Han Solo movie and its potential. Given that Han's early adventures do not need to be tied to the Empire, it leaves storylines open with the opportunity to really give fans something different. They can explore new galaxies and crazy creatures and bring in a wide array of new characters. They feel that his character has the right potential to become a central figure in several movies. They're keeping things under wraps at the moment, but the deal is that he is signed for at least 3 movies. The reporter cautions to take this all with a grain of salt for the time being, but given the popularity of Harrison Ford's character, it seems logical that Lucasfilm would want to keep the movies coming for a long time. The young Han Solo movie is currently dated for May 25th, 2018. Mark, what did you think about the possibility of a young Han Solo trilogy?
I think we need to first consider the possibility that the one Han Solo movie that we know we're getting is good. And after we see that, and more so than the movie being good, we need to see that Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo works, that the fans respond to him in a positive way, and then there's a very real chance that we will get more movies featuring Han Solo in a lead role, whether it's actually a continuation of the Han Solo movies or if he's popping into other Star Wars adventures. But again, first things first, it seems like this is one of those things that you do just in case. That a lot of times when you sign on to do a huge movie, they want to lock you in for a few movies in case that one is huge. So I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to see a new trilogy of young Han Solo movies. Although if this first one is really good and makes a lot of money, you got to think that's where Disney is looking. Is that your take, Kristian?
I'm kind of torn on this story, and I'll tell you why. They're looking to do 3 Han Solo movies, then I couldn't sell it fast enough. I think it is a bad move to do that. You're talking about shrinking the universe. I don't care if they're going to introduce new characters, because that, I've talked about it on Jedi Council many times. If they do it this way, then you have to eventually go to 2 movies, because if not, then we're not going to see any other potential movie, whether it's Old Republic or anything else, brand new characters or Knights of Ren or any of that stuff. You're not going to see it for like 5, 10, 15 years.
Well,
because
they may not necessarily be back to back to back, though. I mean, you could do a Han Solo movie and then do like a Boba Fett or an Old Republic, then go back to a new Han Solo movie.
Right, but because of all you also got to remember the saga movies also. Like if you have, so by the time we get to it, let's say the first one is great, and then you want the next one to come out, and it's going to take 2 or 3 years before they do it. Then you have episode 9, 10, 11, 12, all the other ones that they're peppering in between, unless they decide they're not doing any more saga films, which they haven't announced or not. I just think it shrinks the universe. I don't think you need to do it. However, I do like the idea of being able to, he signed to 3 movies. peppering him in and putting him in other movies, that if there's like whether or not, let's say they do the Boba Fett movie and then they actually put Han Solo in it and have him as Han Solo, I'm cool with that, because if I accept him as Han Solo and the rest of the audience accepts him and they want to see him in more, then they should do that. There's other adventures that he maybe goes on with other characters and spin-offs, then I'm cool with that. I just don't think we need 3 Han Solo movies. Give me 1.
You got to wonder if they're looking at the Han Solo potential trilogy to take the place, or at least be a placeholder while they work on a new saga storyline. So after you have 7, 8, and then 9, then if it takes a break for that for 2 or 3 years, in the place of that, you will have another Han Solo movie coming, boom, 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 and then we get the new saga movies. Schnepp, do you happen to agree with Kristian and I where it's like maybe you don't see 3 Han Solo movies, but for instance, if there's a Boba Fett movie, you're definitely going to be seeing Han Solo featured in that?
Well, I mean, I think this rumor of a trilogy came from somebody finding out that he signed on for 3 movies.
Right.
And that makes sense because they've already talked about doing a Ben Kenobi movie. They've talked about doing a Yoda movie. We know that they were developing a Boba Fett movie, and that got canned when the director got canned. So that got shuffled away. But the idea was always there that Han Solo and Boba Fett would interact with each other across their films. That could still happen. So I don't see them. I think this is just a rumor. I don't think there's going to be a Han Solo trilogy. There's going to be 1 Han Solo movie, and then there's another Star Wars regular Skywalker family movie. Then the next one, whatever it's going to be, whether it's Ben Kenobi or Yoda or Chewbacca, who knows what it's going to be, but it could be a standalone film, but Han Solo could be in it, but it's in that time period. So,
see, I thought you'd be really excited about this news, and for no other reason, because it would seem to guarantee that at one point in the future we would be getting more than 1 Star Wars movie a year, which I know you're a big fan of.
But there's no news to that yet. So if it's a possibility and they do actually move to 2 movies a year, then yeah. And if the first one is great and we decide we definitely think we need a sequel, then sure. I just don't want them to, take away possibilities of other particular ones. What I will say though is, let's say that the reshoots for Rogue One all true, and that they wanted to put a particular scene and part of his contract in one of the movies is Rogue One. Very possible. I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows?
It would be kind of cool to see, even just a hint of Han Solo. Like whether it's actually Alden Ehrenreich there or not, you just get a little tease, a little sprinkle of some Solo-ness. I think that'd be awesome to see in Rogue One. And then it's right, look, before any of this stuff gets too far down the road, let's just see a trailer. Let's just see what this guy actually looks like as Han Solo, and then we can all start to get excited.
I just wouldn't want Rogue One to pull focus, A, from the story of Rogue One,
right,
and B, to ruin the Star Wars first movie where you're introduced to him in Star Wars. I don't want to see them sprinkle in characters that then in 10 years younger people are going to be like, oh yeah, Han Solo first showed up in Rogue One. It just ruins everything that exists.
And you confuse people. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
I just want to see the Falcon fly by in the background. Just
I don't.
It's
I don't.
What was that? Fine. No Falcon for you. More for me.
You get
What's our next story?
extra Falcon for Ellis.
When news broke that John Boyega would lead Pacific Rim 2, many fans wondered why no other cast members had been confirmed, especially those from the first movie. While we'll have to wait and see if anyone from the 2013 release is coming back for more, we now know at least one actor who won't be reprising his role, Charlie Hunnam. While talking to Yahoo Movies at Comic-Con, Hunnam confirmed that he will not be returning as Raleigh Beckett. He told the outlet that there was an early draft that featured him heavily, but he isn't able to make himself available for the shooting schedule. And although he won't be in the middle of the Kaiju Jaeger mayhem again, Hunnam did say that he's very excited about the sequel and that he's glad they're making it. Stephen S. DeKnight is directing Pacific Rim 2 from a script by Derek Connolly. Filming is set to begin later this year. Kristian, are you upset to hear that Charlie Hunnam will not be returning for Pacific Rim 2?
No, I'm not upset to hear that he's not returning, and that's nothing against Charlie Hunnam. I actually think that he was good in the first movie, and I thought he was fun. But let's be honest, nobody was going out to see Pacific Rim because of Charlie Hunnam. They were going to see monsters fight robots. That's exactly what happened. That's what they got. John Boyega, I think, will be a little bit different. I think people will want to see Pacific Rim 2 because John Boyega is in it. I still think the big sell is still the monsters versus the robots. Mm-hmm. That's why you're going to go. And Charlie Hunnam not being in it is not going to hurt the box office at all. And I do believe that he's excited for it. He's got a pretty busy schedule. We just saw that he released the trailer in King Arthur.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
So yeah, I don't think that this is going to make a lot of people upset.
Unless you're a huge Charlie Hunnam fan, which
Right.
Which I can't count myself among your ranks yet. Although I did really enjoy his presence at Comic-Con. He was really funny talking to Conan on that panel. And the King Arthur trailer looked more impressive than I thought it might. However, I do not care that he's on Pacific Rim 2. If you make a great point, because if you're trading Charlie Hunnam for John Boyega and that's just a clean swap, man, did we just win out in Pacific Rim 2. Because unlike you, I didn't think Charlie Hunnam was all that good in the first Pacific Rim. I think that the writing wasn't the best as far as the lines he had to deliver, but this didn't really, it seemed kind of wooden. And the whole time I'm watching Pacific Rim, which I did enjoy a lot, I'm just waiting for the next time when the robots fight each other. So having a Boyega in there and having that kind of personality, that kind of charisma would actually intrigue me more for the scenes in between when the huge robots are fighting the monsters. So Charlie Hunnam not being in it, it's totally fine with me. How about you, Schnepp?
Yeah, I don't care that he's not in it. I mean, I thought he was good in the first film, but I didn't go see Pacific Rim. I want to see giant robots fighting kaiju. That's what I wanted to see. That Guillermo pulled it off amazingly well. I'm looking forward to seeing a sequel. I'm sad he's not involved, but I'm sure he's overseeing a lot of his design sensibility, and his team have probably come on board to make Pacific Rim 2. Yeah, Charlie Hunnam is not necessary to Pacific Rim 2.
Does adding Boyega to Pacific Rim 2, does that get you more excited, or
Nope.
is it just you don't care what
I
human
don't care
beings
what
are
humans
in it?
are in at all. I'm glad Boyega's in. I think he's a great actor. So, but it's like, do I care either way? No.
That Charlie Hunnam, great abs, though. Holy crap, some great abs on that guy. Point well taken. Next story.
We're going into buy or sell, but I'll take more of those abs too. I'll buy those abs.
I will totally sell the fact I had to say how great Charlie Hunnam's abs were and nobody wanted to talk about it.
No, I agree.
Oh, thank you very much for buying my
Extra
comment.
Falcon for Ellis, extra abs for
I want
Ellis.
more Falcon, I want more abs, and now I want more buy or sell. This is the part of the show. Ashley's going to give us a topic because she's a lot better doing it than I am. And we're going to simply say whether we buy it or sell it, then we will defend our choice, throwing elbows if necessary. What's up first?
After Prometheus, we know that Alien Covenant will feature a brand new cast with Michael Fassbender serving as a bridge between the two movies, reprising his role as David, the sole survivor of Prometheus, whom a new exploration crew stumble upon when they arrive on the seemingly deserted planet. Collider's own Steve Weintraub got the chance to talk with Fassbender about his new movie, The Light Between Oceans, and during their chat, Fassbender touched on what we can expect from Covenant. One big difference this time around, it seems, is that Ridley Scott is aiming to up the fright factor. Fassbender said, "This alien is going to be, I'm very excited to see it," and everybody in the film was saying this is a film that we all want to see. It's much scarier than Prometheus, but it's got the same sort of scope of Prometheus. It's kind of got more of the sort of thriller imminent disaster feel that Alien had, so it's kind of a beautiful meeting of both of those films. I'm really excited to see it. I think it's going to be a super scary number one, and then again with the massive scope of Prometheus. Once it starts and the ball starts rolling, it doesn't let up. It's really going to bring chills to the cinema. Alien Covenant will make its way to theaters on August 4th, 2017. Schnepp, buy or sell a scarier Alien Covenant?
Sure, I buy it. I love the idea of Alien Covenant. I love that they're going forward and they're going to paradise, but it's, you know, maybe it's many years later. I don't know if the character David is his head's gonna be attached to one of the engineers' bodies. Because remember, when we last left, he was just a head, and literally in a duffel bag. So. You know, who knows? I mean, that's scary just thinking about David's head on an alien running after you. I don't know how they're going to fit that all together, but we know there's going to be aliens in it. That we do know, and that means scary. So I buy the comments. I cannot wait for Alien Covenant. And I like Prometheus, so I'm one of those people. So.
What's really scary is that you started talking about Alien Covenant, and immediately I thought of that movie, 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. Even though it's just one here with Michael Fassbender's head. I love these comments. It's where I would like to see this go, because way back in '79 when Ridley Scott made Alien, it was a horror movie. It was very scary, and then Aliens became the action extravaganza with some elements of terror. Prometheus, for all its visual glory, and I really like the movie a lot, it needed something else, and I think that missing ingredient was some frights, some horrors, some chills. Give us that. If this is any indication of the movie we're getting, this is exactly the kind of tone I want to see from Alien Covenant, so it's a buy for me as well. Harloff?
Yeah, I buy it also because it just, what I do like, I wasn't a Prometheus fan, but I think everyone agrees that it was a beautiful looking film. It was shot amazing, and I think that getting that, what Fassbender is saying here, the look of it and the scope combined with what we got in the original Alien, we are going to now merge the franchise. You know, we're going to take Prometheus, we're going to kind of make it seem like the original one as we get closer to the timeline of the original Alien, and that makes sense. That makes me say that's exactly what I wanted to see. And answering the question was like, yeah, of course the first one was a prequel to the prequel, I guess. You know, because this is the one as we get closer to the events of the first one. I love the idea that it's going to be scary, needs to be scary. I want to be scared out of my mind for these things because there's, I mean, just even that picture that Ray had up there. I mean, look at that to bring back the original Alien and to have Fassbender there, you know, as a head, sure, but I hope Joe Pesci doesn't make a cameo.
Now, could one of the scary things this movie be the classic xenomorph that we know and love? I know that earlier reports were that Ridley Scott is not going to be utilizing that particular creature for this movie. Do you think he's changed his tune at all? Could that be something that's really scaring?
I think it'll be a hybrid of some kind. It'll be a xenomorph type thing, like you saw in Prometheus. They had a lot of the sculptures that were like almost like shrines to the xenomorph. So there's going to be a creature that is alien-esque for sure. I don't know whether it's going to be the original Giger design or not, but there's going to be a monster in there.
Will we see a mouth open, then another mouth come out of it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Be pretty
That's
sweet.
pretty sure.
All right, what's up next?
ComicCon 2016 has come and gone, and fans are still talking about the Marvel panel. Marvel Studios regularly brings out their A game for the weekend, and this year was no different. They debuted the first footage from Spider-Man Homecoming, an extended clip and semi-teaser trailer from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, along with a new look at Doctor Strange and even a specially made video for Thor Ragnarok. But unlike the Warner Brothers panel, where every single piece of footage shown in the room was put online in official capacity, Marvel kept things entirely under wraps. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 writer-director James Gunn took to Facebook last night to shed a little light on why that footage is not being put online. Of course, I want to share with you guys everything. It's important for me to be able to do that. But here's the thing. The footage we release at Comic-Con will eventually be seen by the public, but in a more finished form. It's very early days. We've only been finished shooting for a month. We presented an entire huge scene with Yondu and Rocket and Baby Groot, and then we also presented some special glimpse for San Diego Comic-Con, a teaser trailer of sorts. The visual effects are not finished. Mark Barsell James Gunn's reasons for not sharing the Guardians footage online.
I will buy it, but with the caveat that hurry up and show it to everybody else, because it looked pretty damn close to finish what we saw, particularly the trailer. I'm cool with them never releasing that scene until we actually see it in a movie. That's a neat treat for people who are in Hall H at Comic-Con to see with Yondu and Rocket Raccoon and
Baby Groot.
Yeah, that one's fine, and maybe you shouldn't show that one until we actually get to see it in a theater next summer. However, the trailer was so good. It was so well cut together that when I heard this story initially, I was like, I'm selling this unless James Gunn says something really compelling. And then he reminded me that it's not quite finished. And even though when you're seeing it on that huge Hall H screen, it looks so good and the crowd's going crazy and you and I are clapping and standing and cheering, you forget that maybe there are a couple scenes in there that don't look quite finished, that it's not exactly the way the studio wants to market it to a mass audience. So I understand it, but everything that we saw there looked pretty damn close to 100% complete. So hurry up and get it out to the public. Kristian?
I'm going to buy it and sell it at the same time because I'm going to buy the fact that he believes that, and that if he's the director, he's like, I want everything to kind of be perfect here, and in order to get that out there, I don't want there to be anything that they can call out and say that doesn't look finished. But I'm going to sell it because if you look at what they showed us at Comic-Con 3 years ago with Guardians of the Galaxy, that big teaser that they were filming for 2 weeks and then they released it like months later. It was essentially the same thing. We might have had a couple more of the finished shots, but I think they could have released something. They didn't have to. I'm just saying they could have released something that looked finished if they wanted to. So the reasoning of them just doing it because everything wasn't finished. And I also understand not releasing that scene. They shouldn't have to release that scene, even if it was finished. That particular the trailer itself that we were shown. We'll sell that movie. We'll show that tone. The scene absolutely does. The scene was amazing. Right. But I think that they could have put something together that was finished and did look finished. That's why I don't completely buy the reasoning.
It's an excellent point. Is maybe take the trailer that we saw, which was probably a good 2.5 minutes, and just like truncate it down to 90 seconds, and then maybe everything that we saw then would have been finished. Schnepp, you buying or selling?
I'm buying it. Like I was in Hall H with these guys, separated by 7,000 people. You guys, I don't remember where you were.
I could hear you.
Could you hear me when I was crying and when I had to leave? Because I missed the trailer for Guardians, but I saw the Baby Groot scene.
Oh, okay.
But I can wait. I'm with like the rest of the world where I I understand, like, hey, look, and I think it's kind of cool that the people in Hall H, all those people had to wait in line for days and slept outside, get that little flavory nugget of like, I saw this Thor Ragnarok scene, or I saw the Spider-Man thing, and the rest of the world is just going to have to wait a little bit longer. It might be a week, it might be a month, it could be 2 months. Big deal. Cry baby. So what? I mean, have to wait a little bit. All those people deserve that little awesomeness. I'm glad that Warner Brothers released everything, so it was cool to be able to see all that stuff. I didn't make it to the Warner Brothers panel, so I was really happy to see all that. And I understand that what we saw, or what you guys saw with the trailer, maybe there are a few shots that aren't finished. They look kind of finished, but maybe they're going to replace them with another even better shot. I totally understand that. I think that's cool that the trailer's coming out very soon. If it's not be the week before Doctor Strange, it'll be maybe in next month. I can wait. I'm cool.
I would hope it's before Doctor Strange. I'm going to cap this. If they don't get this thing out by the end of the summer to everybody else out there, then I'm going to sell whatever these comments are, because fans out there deserve to see this. It is so close to finish, and it is so unlike anything else that you'll see. It's that classic Guardians tone that we were hoping we could get with Volume 2. It's exactly what that trailer is.
There's also a difference for why Warner Brothers showed all their stuff and why Marvel didn't. Like, for Marvel, they're right now the top of their game. They don't need to show this stuff, because once the trailer is released online, you're going to get people really excited. They're going to want to see it. Because of the split reaction with Batman v Superman, and because the DC Cinematic Universe is so young, Warner Brothers wanted to make a statement and say, look at what else we're working on here. Not just to Hall H, but to everyone, because everyone was raving about the Wonder Woman trailer. Everyone was raving about Justice League, and Justice League's come out for a long time. I think maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe even before or after, actually, Guardians, I think.
Yeah, a year and a month from now.
So they were making a statement. They were showing everybody the same reason why they had that set visit happen. Hall H was an event for them for a reason. They were doing that was a marketing play. It wasn't just for the ComicCon crowd this year. As were Hall H for Marvel, it was. So they didn't have to release anything they didn't want to. However James Gunn wants to defend it, that's fine. He's got the right to do that, but
the reason I think they should get it out as quickly as possible, too, is because everybody heard from the news, everybody was buzzing about the big reveal about Ego at the end of that trailer.
Right.
So now that there is that information out there, I think all the fans should get to enjoy how we got to see it and have that reveal happen.
And Baby Groot, because Baby Groot we knew that he was going to be in the end of it, though, but everybody's talking about Baby Groot right now.
Now, is Baby Groot in the trailer as well? Because we saw that 5 minutes.
He is.
But do they show a couple of little scenes?
He's in there also, yeah.
It's a really good trailer.
It's awesome.
It's really good. And now we go from a movie coming out next year that we're all very excited about to a movie that's coming out in a matter of weeks. What's the new trailer, Ash?
Paramount Pictures and MGM have unveiled a new Ben Hur trailer for wanted director Timur Bekmambetov's adaptation of the Lew Wallace novel Ben Hur, A Tale of the Christ. The book was famously adapted in 1959 by director William Wyler, with Charlton Heston in the starring role, but this new adaptation brings back more of the biblical aspects of Wallace's novel, telling the story of the prince paralleling the story of Jesus Christ. Ben Hur stars Jack Houston as Judah Ben Hur, a prince who was falsely accused of treason by his adopted brother Messala, played by Toby Kebbell. Ben Hur slowly makes his way back to his homeland to seek revenge, resulting in an explosive clash between Judah and Messala. The film also stars Morgan Freeman and opens in theaters on August 19th. Kristian, buy or sell the new trailer for Ben Hur?
I've been selling all the trailers so far, but I'm gonna buy this one, and maybe because it's shorter, I don't know. But I'm gonna buy it because I do really like Jack Houston. I really like Toby Kebbell. Toby Kebbell's one of my favorites in here. I think completely underrated guy. But there's something about this particular trailer that didn't look. The other ones look really modern. Like, it didn't feel like part of the time. This does, to me, feel a bit more part of the time. It's got that epic feel. The CGI in the other trailers, maybe they weren't done yet, looked a little like out of whack. This seemed more. It seemed more realistic to me. So this particular trailer, I'll buy. I'm still not sold on the movie 100%, but this one was a step in the right direction.
I love it. You're buying it because it's shorter. It's like
it's
they
true.
were torturing me for less amounts of time, so I will buy the trailer. But I'm with you. It's barely a buy for me. It's not a movie that I'm very excited to see, but, you know, come August 19th, maybe you're sitting there, you get a little bit of juice because it is an all-time great story that they're telling. And the acting looked, maybe it's just the way they cut the trailer together, it looked a little tighter. It looked like the lines were delivered better, particularly from your boy Jack Houston. You know, I'm very excited to see Toby Kebbell in here too, but there was a little bit of intensity to it. I think it was a better cut trailer. I think that the effect shots that they used were totally finished, and I think that the acting actually has some potential here. So despite my best, thoughts going into it, I'm actually like kind of excited a little bit to see Ben Hur now. Schnepp, you on board?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I sell this trailer. I thought it was horrible. The dialogue was like, "Are we having fun yet, brother?" I mean, it was cringeworthy dialogue.
Yeah, that's in the other one too, though. So I guess I got used to it.
Yeah, it's just horrible dialogue. It looks the cinematography and the way they decided to break down the shoot or the shot compositions are flat. Everything felt like a TV movie to me. And then the CGI horse fest was just. All of it was kind of like
original title of the film, by the way.
CGI Horse Fest.
Yeah.
I would see the movie if it was called CGI Horse Fest. So you have 2 or like a month to fix it and finish the titles. Yeah, I sell it. I mean, I think August. When does it come out?
19th.
August 19th. I'll be seeing Suicide Squad a second, maybe a third time.
That's gonna be, look, you got Suicide Squad coming out next week, and I think you have Sausage Party the week after that. So there's gonna be good movies coming out in August, we hope, despite whatever Ben Hur is. But okay, so 2 kind of buys, and then 1 hard sell for the Ben Hur trailer.
You hear Riley coughing over there?
Yeah. Dude,
He's got the con
here's
crud.
the thing: if you let it get into your head, that's when it starts to get into your body. Be careful, Kristian Harloff.
Wear a
Mindful of
mask.
your mind.
I'm gonna keep everybody updated because we share an office together. So I'm gonna keep everybody updated as to what Riley's current health level is and to what yours is. So let's keep those antibodies fighting. Okay, what's our last buy or sell?
The first teaser trailer for Trainspotting 2 has finally landed online. The long-in-development sequel became a reality when director Danny Boyle was able to reunite the original cast for a story based on author Irvine Welsh's follow-up novel entitled Porno. Hee hee. Now, the first footage has been unveiled in the form of a teaser trailer, giving fans the first look at Renton, played by Ewan McGregor, Spud, played by Ewan Bremner, Sick Boy, played by Johnny Lee Miller, and Begbie, played by Robert Carlyle. Trainspotting 2 opens in theaters on January 27, 2017. Schnepp, buy or sell the first teaser for Trainspotting 2.
Super short teaser, literally just like a shot from the original one, but like now it's all these years later. I buy it. I love Trainspotting. I see it usually like once a year. It's one of my favorite all-time films, in my top 10 films. It's so much fun. I'm hoping they bring back Kelly MacDonald, who played Ewan McGregor's girlfriend in the original film. I don't know if she's in the film or not, but I'm glad they were able to get the core cast together. I'm really happy to see. I don't know what the film is going to be about, if it's going to follow the book or not, but I'm sure there's elements of the book that are going to be in there, because they actually did like kind of a made-for-TV movie version called Porno with none of the original actors in it. So I'm really excited to see what Trainspotting 2 is going to be all about. I love the idea that they're doing it.
Yeah, it's a great tease. Emphasis on the word tease because, like Schnepp said, that's all it is. But I love the way that it revealed what movie it is. Like you go back to the time before trailers premiered on YouTube, and when you were just sitting in a movie theater and you're wondering what movies this is and trying to guess like what it's about. You just see the train thing going by, then you see these characters, and it's like, oh man, and it's just they're standing just close enough in the shot to be able to recognize that they got the original actors back, and then they mention it in the trailer too. So it's a short tease, but it's definitely a buy for me. I love the way they pulled it off. Short, to the point, simple, well done.
I will buy it because I'm a fan of the first one, but I can easily see why people who are not fans or haven't seen the first one would sell it. Because if you haven't seen this movie at all and you just see train go by and it goes original cast and there's nothing exciting about it, it's not even much of a tease for people who have never seen the movie or care. Because like, oh, cool, I guess I got to watch the first one. It doesn't do anything with it. Sure. But if you're a fan, and obviously as big a fan as Schnepp, and you see it, you get excited because they play the original music from the movie.
That's the exact shot from the
same
original
shot.
film. So.
Yeah, and the fact that Boyle's coming back, it's exciting. If you're a fan of the first movie, then you should. It's just to let you know it's coming back. You're going to get another one. So it does the job to go after the fans of the first movie. So, but I understand if someone's selling in the chat room because they haven't seen it or don't know what the hell it is or don't care, or even even maybe don't want a sequel. I get either way.
Right.
Fairly positive day here on Buy or Sell, with the exception of Schnepp selling Ben Hur.
Ben Hur.
Get over that. And we'll see how things in the chat room are going. Today, we turn it over to our own Wendy Lee, who's been monitoring you guys all the live long day. Wendy, let's start with the young Han Solo news, obviously. That could be huge, could be nothing. What are the fans saying about it?
Well, while a lot of our viewers are Star Wars fans, I am seeing a lot of comments that saying they don't even really want a young Han Solo film, let alone a trilogy. I'm also seeing comments that they're saying they'd rather see an Obi-Wan Kenobi film. Zanan Zayadnide says that Han Solo movie is probably the least enticing product of a Star Wars property in years. And Star Destroyer 11 says, yeah, I'm bored with Star Wars. Nothing new is being brought to the table besides the episodes, and honestly, that is a big, fat mistake. Star Wars is so expansive, they should be pushing new things. And in our buy or sell section, James Gunn talking about why Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wasn't released. So they're buying James Gunn's comments, but please don't make the rest of us who didn't make it into Hall H wait too long to see the trailer. Patrick Kelly says, I'd rather wait and see what they want me to see. I don't want to see an author's work before it's edited. There's a reason for that. See perfection, not the skeleton of it. And finally, Chris Robinson says, people at Comic-Con deserves exclusive footage. Give them their money's worth.
All right, that is Wendy monitoring the chat room, which she does each and every day, you guys. So make sure if you guys have a good comment, Wendy might be able to see it. Keep those good ones rolling. And now we move on to opening this week, brought to you by our friends over at AMC Theatres. Ashley, what are we all going to see in theaters this weekend?
There's a couple of them. First one opens in theaters tomorrow, and that's Nerve. Hardworking high school senior V. DeMarco, Emma Roberts, has had it with living life on the sidelines. When she's asked by the online game of Nerve, are you a watcher or a player, V decides to sign up for just one dare in what seems like a fun, harmless game. But as she finds herself caught up in the thrill of the adrenaline-fueled competition, the game begins to take a sinister turn with increasingly dangerous acts, leading her into a high-stakes finale that will determine her entire future. Also coming out is Jason Bourne. It's been 10 years since Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, walked away from the agency that trained him to become a deadly weapon. Hoping to draw him out of the shadows, CIA Director Robert Dewey assigns hacker and counterinsurgency expert Heather Lee to find him. Lee suspects that former operative Nikki Parsons is also looking for him as she begins tracking the duo. Bourne finds himself back in action, battling a sinister network that utilizes terror and technology to maintain unchecked powers.
All right. Well, obviously, you guys, if you've been watching the show for a little bit, you can probably tell what I'm most excited for this weekend. And it is not Nerve. Don't really know too much about it. Sounds intriguing enough. And it stars Emma Roberts, who is what relation to Julia?
Her niece.
Not her daughter, as previously reported by me in the pre-show meeting. My bad, crew. So Nerve, whatever, comes out on Wednesday. Good for you. Jason Bourne is the one that I was super excited to see. Kristian and I actually got to check it out last night. Our Schmoes Know is going to be, our review is going to be up later today.
Yes.
And then we're also going to have a review here on Collider. Both those reviews are going to be spoiler free. So make sure you guys check out Collider Video and Schmoes for the reviews. Before we talk to the people who have seen the movie, Schnepp, are you pumped to see Bourne?
I am. I love Paul Greengrass as a director. I think Matt Damon's great. I love the previous 3 Bourne films, so it'll be cool to see him coming back to this character and doing a bunch of cool, fighting and crazy car chases and some kind of weird, guys oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. And then, that quiet moment where everyone's freaking out. I hope that's in the film. Nerve. Sorry. Nerve, the trailer, I felt like they showed a little too much, but it's been so long since I saw that trailer, I kind of forgot a lot about it. But I remember liking the premise, so I probably will see Nerve as well.
Well, you only got one more day to wait for that when that comes out on Wednesday. And then
right on.
Friday is Jason Bourne. Kristian Schnepp is looking forward to cool car chases. He's looking forward to the reveal that it's Bourne and he's back. Will he be excited about this movie?
I think that there are a lot of elements in this movie that play to the Jason Bourne fan base. The first 3, though, were very special, solid, different spins on the action film. This one is a little bit more generic. I still liked it. I liked watching this movie for sure. So, and like Mark said, we're going to be talking about this more in depth. I absolutely recommend that if you are a fan, it's way better than the Jeremy Renner one that they just did last year or whenever it was, a couple years ago. But this particular movie, to have Greengrass and Matt Damon back together again, it was exciting. There's some really great action scenes, so you should absolutely go and see this movie in the theaters. As far as Nerve goes, I don't know enough about it. It's something that I'd be interested in. I think I want to hear kind of some people's takes on it, but I do want to check it out and see, going unexpected.
Yeah, as far as Bourne goes, I think you and I are about on the same page with it. Although I really like the Bourne Legacy as an action movie. As a Bourne movie, they were trying to shoehorn the legacy in there a little bit too much. But this one, it just feels like a random action movie. And then you also have Matt Damon back as Jason Bourne. That's why you go see this movie, to see Matt Damon back as Jason Bourne and to maybe get some new characters that we can have chasing him. Tommy Lee Jones is in this, and he's great, as he usually is when he comes to play ball. Alicia Vikander, star on the rise. Nice to see her in there too. I will say that one of the disappointing things about Jason Bourne is that, Schnepp, I know you have a big problem with this too, is that sometimes you see some really cool parts in trailers, like it's people reacting to something or a cool action scene, and the trailers that we've seen for Jason Bourne have some stuff in it that you don't see in the movie.
Good.
And that kind of upset me
I
because it's like, I
see.
can't wait to see that on the big screen, and it's not the same kind of setup. So it's kind of there's a couple things like that that let me down, but it's a solid action movie, and I will never say anything less than that. And it leads to a climactic scene that is worth the money. So I think you guys can check out Jason Bourne this weekend, and Nerve as soon as tomorrow at AMC Theaters. Make sure when you guys want to get all your tickets and box office information, you just go to amctheaters.com. It's all right there waiting for you. All right, let's move on to Mailbag. This is a part of the show where we take your guys' emails. You guys can email us anytime. collidervideo@gmail.com is where you want to go, and we're going to save a couple minutes at the end of the show for your live Twitter questions. So go ahead and start tweeting us at collidervideo. Be very nice to Ashley because she's the gatekeeper. And our first mailbag is?
Mark Overby writes, "Hello, crew. Thank you all so very much for your hard work at Comic-Con and keeping us all up to date with what is new and cool in the comic and film world. With that said, do you see Comic-Con reaching a breaking point and eventually collapsing on itself in the very near future? With impossible lines and impossible costs, cheap motels going for $600 a night, plus the cost of a ticket if you are lucky enough to get one, food and spending cash, one could easily drop several thousands of dollars for the privilege of standing in huge lines for hours on end with no guarantee of seeing the panel or movie clip they came for, or risking life and limb on the main floor as they crash into throngs of human beings while trying to shop. I understand that your job and position offer you the opportunity to see and do all the things that the vast majority of fans miss due to overcrowding. If you are an average fan who simply wanted to go, knowing how crowded and expensive it has become, would you even bother?"
Well, our jobs and positions, they do help us somewhat get into Comic-Con as far as getting the badge and stuff, but it's still like pretty much 5 dudes in one room together sleeping sometimes. So we feel your pain, especially when it comes to just forget about how much money you have to spend on a hotel. Just booking a hotel that is close to the convention hall and all the other exciting things going around there is a chore in itself. So I totally sympathize with this question. Is that Comic-Con is not something you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, that is happening in San Diego. Maybe we should go check that out. It's something you plan for. It's something you save for the rest of the year. I think that it's worth it a lot of times because, like, I didn't even get to go to the floor once, and that's one of my favorite things. Just
Did
go to
you
the
didn't
floor.
walk the floor at all?
Did not
Oh,
get
wow.
to. I didn't have a chance, man. So you're walking around, and sometimes you get lucky and you can get into Hall H and you can see all that stuff. But I think you were talking about a fan yesterday you ran into that had been waiting in line for Hall H for like hours and still didn't get in. So it's a bummer. It's a hard thing to negotiate. And when I said yesterday that I like it in San Diego and I like to keep it in San Diego, a lot of that is based on the promise that San Diego itself, the city, is going to keep building more hotels and having things that are accommodating to Comic-Con fans. So not only can you expand the convention center in ways where more people can check out all these cool exhibits and footage, but also just have physical places for people to stay. I mean, the Chargers are probably going bye-bye next year, right? They're probably going from San Diego up to Los Angeles to join the Rams. So Comic-Con is a huge economic boon every time it happens every year. San Diego wants to keep it, but in order to do that, you can really help out the fans that pay all the money for the hot dogs and the tickets and the hotel rooms. You guys can do yourselves a favor by keep expanding that downtown area, keep it clean, keep it nice, and make sure that people can get a hotel room when they need to. What's your take?
Expansion. It's good. You have to. You have to expand it. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. It is not right that a person that, like the dude that I met on the floor on Sunday, that paid for that badge and waited for 6.5 hours to get into Hall H, doesn't get in to see any of the stuff that he wants to see because there's no room. And the other thing is you can stay. If you go in to Hall H in the morning, you can stay there all day. And that also starts to limit people who else can get in. I don't think you should take that away from people because I think that they should be able to watch the whole thing if they want to, but I also think you need to build out Hall H or make another place. That is the big event. And I also think that would entice studios a little bit more too. If you're like, more people are going to see your stuff and really enhance the experience for everyone. I think that that's what you do. And as far as the hotels go, yeah, it sucks. I was lucky enough I was covering for Fandango, so like you get a hotel room, you get these things, and it's, as a fan, like you can't go just stay at the Hard Rock if you want. I mean, some people can, but you can't just go there. And it's convenient. It was very convenient for me, but again, I was lucky because I was working. Right. You want to go, like you were saying, you've got to save up, and it's a vacation for you, and you have to make this choice financially that this is what you want to do because it is so expensive. If they build out more places for people to stay, they have to really expand because, like Mark said, this is with losing their football team.
Probably. It's not confirmed
Most
yet.
likely.
And I want the Chargers to be able to stay in San Diego. I think it's a great team.
If they do, I mean, they're going to, like, this is their big economic boom. So you should take care of the fans. I think that sometimes the emphasis is too much of taking care of the professionals and the media a lot of the times too. You should really focus on the fans and make sure that the fans can get their rooms and make their experience like worthwhile for them to go. And I will say that a lot of people go to Comic-Con and it's heaven because they're walking the floor and that's what they want to do, and they get to be a part of all of these things, and they sit in there watching. If they do get into any of these panels, they see these people that they have been following on television or their favorite comic book writers, so the experience is there for a lot of people who do pay.
Schnepp?
I think it's totally worth bothering to try to make it. If you haven't made it to San Diego Comic-Con, that is the granddaddy. That is the biggest comic book convention on the planet. And why is it still so popular? Why is it still so big? Why is it still thriving? Because everybody goes there, and it's a lot of people have been saying, why not just call it Culture Con, or because the whole world's kind of absorbed our little niche market of like superheroes and fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I disagree. I think it's a good thing that it's expanded. You could take Hall H and like break out that wall if San Diego would, like that wall where everyone's lined up and stuff, expand and get easily another 2,000.
So you disagree with the guy that says that they shouldn't, that fans are it's gonna implode?
No, it's not going to implode at all. It's gonna keep growing.
Oh, okay.
But you need to keep growing.
Like San Diego has to continue to expand their, not only just the terminals, they have to approve more. They're constantly building more and more hotels, but it's not going to be enough. So they need to expand another 1,000, 2,000 hotels, rooms for people to go. But I think it's completely worth going. It's worth walking the floor. I got a chance to walk the floor. My schedule is jam-packed. I saw a bunch of people, a lot of fans on the floor. I was able to say hi, but most of the time, if I was rushed and just like only able to give a quick pound, it's because all of us were working the convention, so we didn't have that much time, and I myself didn't have really a lot of free time to walk the floor. When I did, I was either trying to get to one specific booth to like get that one thing before I have to go bounce off to do another thing. But it is so much fun. Another great thing is, even if you can't get into all of the different like Hall H or all the different giant convention rooms, it's being around everyone else who enjoys that kind of same culture that you do, who's into the same things that you're into. So I think that's one of the reasons, like everything that's outside of Comic-Con is really fun. There's events going on all around the comic book convention that you could fill your entire week with. So I would save some money every week. If you could save at least $50 or $100 so that you have like $200 or $400 every month to prepare for next year, just so you had that's like you going to Vegas, but you're not gambling, you're having fun with your friends, enjoying Comic-Con. That's what I would say.
See, I say go to Vegas and just gamble a lot, and then see if you win. If you win money, then that's your Comic-Con nut.
And if you lose it, go ask Ellis for the money.
Good luck on the Greyhound back to wherever you came from. All right, let's get to our last mailbag.
Okay, Cyrus writes, "Hey Collider crew, just want to say big thank you to your Comic-Con coverage. It was great to see it all from the UK." Okay, so I think we all know this question is coming, so let's just get it out of the way. Besides all of us, who won at Comic-Con this year, DC or Marvel? From not going and just seeing the hype online, I think more people were excited about DC films, mainly because there was more footage for us all to see. However, I actually think Marvel won the TV area, as I hear more people excited for the Luke Cage and the Iron Fist more so than the DC shows. Love to know what you think, and stay awesome.
Excellent point about Marvel and all the cool Luke Cage and Iron Fist stuff, but I'm going to give it to DC slightly over Marvel, and here's the reason why. It's because from a movie standpoint, I am not a guy that really enjoys winning all that much. I just hate losing. I cannot stand losing, and DC had a lot more to lose this year than Marvel did. Like Kristian pointed out earlier, is that Marvel's already the top dog. They showed a bunch of cool stuff, but DC, they had Wonder Woman and they had Justice League, and those two things, while they could have, if those things got mixed reviews, then it would have been really tough for DC, and it would have been another year of, oh, okay, we got to do better next time. They crushed with those trailers. People loved watching that stuff. That footage really helped turn the tide for DC. So I think that they needed the win, and I think they got the win very slightly. Kristian?
Yeah, I think they did also because of the points that we both made. Marvel, if you want to go specifically to Hall H, you could say it was a tie as far as Hall H, just Hall H and not the expanded universe of all the fans out there. Because if it's all the fans out there, everybody watching right now, you got to give it to DC, because that's what a lot of people are judging it off of as far as the footage that was shown for the movies. Now, as far as TV goes, yeah, Marvel got a little bit of sight of the edge, but also don't forget about the Killing Joke for DC. Now, whether or not you loved it or didn't like it or thought there shouldn't have been a sex scene in there, whatever it might be, there was a lot of buzz on the film. There was a lot of buzz on the premiere, and it got a lot of people talking about it. And it also had Mark Hamill in there. So, yeah, I'm going to say that the slight edge goes to DC. Actually, even more than a slight edge, as far as because of from overall and not just Comic-Con. They needed to put the stamp down, and they did it.
All right, Schnepp. DC, Marvel, who won Comic-Con?
DC, Marvel, neither of them. We won because we got all these amazing trailers. It's not a win for me for one or the other. I think the fans of Doctor Strange, the fans of Wonder Woman, the fans of the Avengers, Spider-Man, Captain America, Batman, Superman, everybody who's looking forward to these films, Justice League won, Doctor Strange won, Thor Ragnarok won. Anyone who's like heard about the buzz, even if you didn't see it, you heard about Thor, Planet Hulk, all this cool imagery. Luke Cage, that trailer looked amazing. Look, I don't like to play those games like who won. It's like we're all enjoying this stuff, so we won.
You're giving every kid a trophy, and that's fine because
single
Marvel
kid gets a
and
trophy.
DC really came to play. Let's move quickly to live Twitter questions, guys. Ashley, we're going to take 2 Twitter questions today, and these are live questions that people just wrote in at Collider Video. What's up first?
Adam Schultz writes, "What is your most controversial movie opinion?"
My most controversial movie opinion. Yeah, I mean, if you factor, if you take out yesterday, I'm going to say Fantasia, that I hate it. I can't stand Fantasia. I'm a little sick of Peter Pan. Never really liked Peter Pan. Hook, I rewatched recently. It was okay, but yeah, I cannot stand Fantasia.
Just Friends. Everyone likes that stupid comedy. I hate that dumb thing.
Why do you hate Just Friends?
I hate it. Ryan Reynolds in a fat suit drives me nuts.
Oh, well, that put a damper on the
I hate
show.
that movie.
Okay, Schnepp.
He's a dick in the movie.
I'd say like my opinions on Transformers 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Batman v Superman. The theatrical cut would be the most irritating for the crybabies out there who can't stand if their opinion isn't the same. I appreciate your opinion. That was just my opinion. Thankfully, the ultimate cut changed my mind on Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I really like 13 Hours too.
There you go.
It's awesome. All right, Ashley, what's our last Twitter question of the day?
Jan Rodewald writes, "Which movie title describes best each of the people on Movie Talk today?"
Oh man.
Yeah, okay. So like all time. Okay, so you got your Kristian Harloff, you got your Mark Ellis, and your Jon Schnepp. So if there's one movie title that
Three
really
Amigos.
describes
There you go. Nailed
The
it.
Three
all
Amigos.
of us, the three amigos, but then individually, like what would be like?
Cut it out and you blew it.
I would say the Big Friendly Giant.
Yeah.
Jolly Green Giant.
Well, he's not a movie. He's a guy who shills
All right.
vegetables.
Well, I would do that.
Big Friendly Giant. Kristian,
King of comedy. There you go.
Yeah.
for you?
No,
Oh,
a-hole, I'm pointing to you.
Oh, thank you.
Finally try to give the guy a
He
compliment.
doesn't even understand when you're giving him a compliment.
Hey,
I don't
look,
understand what's wrong with
Hey,
this
look,
guy.
Tony
Look,
Ravioli, Pete
Hey,
Peppers over there.
I'm
You
trying to,
say,
like, give Ellis a
you
little
try
bit
to
of
tell the
flavor
guy,
there.
you say to
We're
the
trying
guy,
to
and he looks at you, he goes,
sprinkle
no.
just a little bit
just
of
said
fun
no.
on him, and he
I was
doesn't
going
even
to give
accept
you
it.
grumpy old man. It's
real nice.
But, no. I
real
take
nice.
it back. I'm going to give you the one I was going to give myself. You, my friend, are young guns.
Hey. Hey.
Oh.
Aaron.
Oh, no. You and Schnepp, you guys are good fellas.
Hey.
oh.
All right.
I like that.
And that's all for the two good fellas and the Godfather here today on Collider Movie Talk. I want to thank everybody behind the scenes as well as everybody up front here on the panel with me. Jon Schnepp, we will start with you. Where can everybody find the Big Friendly Giant? Kristian Harloff, where can everybody... Oh, there they go. Okay. Wendy Lee, where can everybody find you?
Oh, you blew it. You blew it.
Come on, Wendy, get it together.
Ashley, were you going to do the
I'll
S-Rad
bring
face?
it back. I'll bring it back.
Ah,
I gotta
perfect.
do a tuck because I have huge lips.
Tuck it up.
All right. Make sure you guys check out Jon Schnepp, Collider Heroes. You can do see that.
Jon Schnepp?
You can
Jon-
do him
Jon
every
Schnepp.
Wednesday.
He
You
told
wanna
them
do
who
Jon
I
Schnepp?
am.
Do him every Wednesday. Check out Kristian's show here on Collider Jedi Council every Thursday. Then Kristian and I, we always host the movie trivia Schmodown. It's back again this Friday. So make sure that you guys buckle your safety belts and subscribe to Collider Video here on YouTube. Ashley Mova, where can the kids find you?
Oh, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Ashley Mova. Happy Tuesday, guys.
You looked upset that I didn't go to you for a plug. I'm sorry. I did go to you for a plug, actually. You were making a face.
Clark Wolf and Sam Levine will be going up against each other on Friday. #1 contender, winner plays the champ, Dan Murrell. That'll be coming up in August, but these two are playing this Friday. And if you didn't watch Jon Schnepp versus Cal Anonymous, that is up on the channel right now.
That's right. You should watch it. See what happened.
Well done, everybody. My name is merely Mark. You guys can find me online at Mark Ellis Live. Upcoming stand-up tour dates, markellislive.com. Make sure you guys bookmark Collider.com. That's where you go for all the latest movie news. And again, subscribe right here, Collider Video. We'll have our Bourne non-spoiler review up later on today. See you guys tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.